perception is quite different for different people. If I say in terms of organization, the upper management has a different perception towards reality or the other factors that are changing, that forcing them to adopt new technologies to bring in change in the organization, but the employees are not ready. They might be thinking that maybe if I join, or like they are, the thing that they are trying to ask me is not according to me, it doesn't suit to the organization, or it is not okay with the general perception or general goal of the organization. This is a different perception, and this is mostly what happens with the employee. So this is something needs to be known in that perspective. Now we would be moving on the next slide. These are typically the techniques that are being explained or elaborated one by one. Simple. Whenever you are adopting something, you need to educate them, right? You need to make them aware, right? Communicate towards them, right? And facilitate or support or participate to the participations, negotiate with them. I will give you an example, a good example in a general perspective. Manipulation and cooperation, co-optation and coercion. Since before COVID-19, everything was okay. Economy was doing well. Decisions were very good at the time. The dollar was down. Now the dollar is almost like 167 PKR, $1, right? So things are worse now. But since the COVID-19, if I explain all these, what government did, they announced on the media, communicated with the people that you will be brought to curfew or lockdown situation. So be ready, be prepared. So slowly and gradually, not immediately, they facilitate the citizens to get the food stuff or the stuff of their ordinary life, purchase them, store them in their houses, and then gradually they will shut down all the things one by one. So this is what they did. They facilitate the people, and ultimately it helped them out. It was kind of win-win situation. Now the things are still getting worse. So what they are doing now, they are again shifting, relaxing towards the old, the way things were on and the economy was moving on. This is what has been done exactly in the COVID-19 situation. Change came in, external force came in, the external factor, health risk was the main target. It was a red alert. Everybody has to be, separate and, keep a good, healthy life. So they educate them through the media. They communicate them through different channels, and then participated where government support was needed. People were facilitated what they wanted to. They wanted to create a win-win situation. They negotiated with the people, because in the recent strike, you might be aware of the current situation that the traders were trying to break the lockdown, and they were trying to start their business, because this lockdown has brought a lot of difficulty. Of course, it has to. So they negotiated with them. Now after lockdown, they will resume their business practices again to a certain extent, right? And then to create a win-win situation. Sometimes by force, rangers were called in, in terms of cooperation and manipulation. Sometimes it backfired, right? Maybe people, the event that happened in a mosque, that where the police tried to force them not to go for the Juma prayer, right? The people backfired. This situation backfired, and people resisted and beaten all those, police forces, or the people deployed over there, and they beat them, and the police were ran off. So this can happen in that particular situation. Coercion, they might be pleading you, right? Please don't go, please do these things and that thing. Maybe sometimes it happens, different situations might happen, but I'm just giving you a good example to make understand these techniques that organizations do try to resist the change. Now we know how the organizational culture is going to be changed. Cultures are naturally resistant to change, right? Of course, culture is made up of people's practices. Okay, so cultures are made by people. They are good. Lockdown situation is a negative one. Positive, what are those factors? Let's see. Conditions that facilitate cultural change. The occurrence of dramatic crisis. Lockdown came in, everybody went to houses. They accepted the lockdown. Leadership change. For example, PM is, globally renowned being, a good, a speech delivering person. He has a personality. He delivers the, speech whenever he's talking to the leaders. Looked upon as a global leader now. So sometimes personality happens. Leadership style changes. The perception of people. It brings them out of the comfort situation, and it helps out in the culture. Young and flexible and small organization. In terms of organization, if they are new, they are innovative, they are energy filled, and they are ready to break the rules. They will do anything to excel their performance, right? So the young and flexible organization and small organization, they facilitate the organized cultural change. A weak organization culture sometimes, you know anything is being adopted. Depends type of organization. As I said, young and flexible, they have a weak culture. If you remember, we previously in the class discussed regarding a weak and strong culture. So you can prepare that one to understand specifically what I am trying to explain about the weak and organizational culture. So these are the cultural factors, and these could be the positive ones to bring in the positive change towards the situation. Okay, Ji. Changing culture, how? Set a tone through the management behavior. Top managers particularly need to be positive role models, that is, the leaders. Create new stories, symbols, and rituals. If you do this, this will happen, you will be rewarded, right? Promote, support employees who are adopting new change. Okay, you got new idea, you got this tool, perfect. So you are being awarded. Redesign is socialization. Make them group, make them team up, to and align them according to their sort of personalities. Match up. For example, if I'm giving an assignment, I have to analyze those students who have good chemistry with them. I can group them up separately, differently, right? This will help it out to encourage acceptance of new values, change, reward. For example, in media, everybody, people are explaining hand wash 20 seconds, mouthwash, brush, be sanitized, keep away, social distancing, and everything is being taught to you. So you have to be encouraging through the media. For example, this COVID-19 replace unwritten norms with clear specified expectations, as we learned that ambiguity is going to make a huge difference or resistance to the change. So in that perspective, we have to be specific, be in black and white. So the guy or the people that the employee that you are working with, or the employee that is working under you, so it gets a clear idea. Okay. Similarly, shake up current subculture through job transfer, job rotation, because people don't, love to change. Actually, they will resist it, because they were quite easy and comfortable with what they were doing earlier. Exactly as I gave you an example of rickshaw and auto and a car. Choosing between them. If you are you similarly work to get conscious through people perceptions and creating climate that is quite favorable. So now, as I told you that if you are bringing change, but you don't like it, of course, it is going to give you a stress, right? This is typically this. We can understand this scenario. We already know it, but we will just go through what it is written here and how it is formally, talked about. The adverse reaction people have to exercise excessive pressure placed on them from extraordinary demands, constraints, or sometimes opportunities. Opportunities in terms, we have already idea what extraordinary demands could be, right? Do this one, also do this one, also do that one. So this is going to be an excessive demand over you, and of course you will be stressed up, sometimes frustrated, sometimes. exhausted. You have to do this one, but you have limited resources, constraints, and that is making you stressed up, right? And or opportunities somebody is giving you unwilling, and you are not willing to take it up, and then opportunities might make you stress up. So the stress are those factors that cause the stress basically. And what causes stress? Role conflict. You are giving the role that you are not capable of doing it. Overload means you are able to do it, but still you are trying to push it up to to work it out, that particular role that you are giving, because that role is over your expectations and is overloaded, and it is beyond a one person single job, right? And role ambiguity, when role expectations are not clear, not understood, it also makes you stressed up what to do. I mean, like, you are giving a task and you are being asked regularly, and they didn't give you anything new, or in a black and white, what you have to do, and they are asking why didn't you do it, right? This situation is going to make you stressed up, right? And then now there is a big factor that is very personal to people, which is personality factors causing stress sometimes. Change might be good, but your perception, your personal character or the values that you have already inside you might give you a stress, right? That might be causing you major factor. Type personality A, people who have a chronic sense of urgency, always in hurry. Okay, do this one. Why didn't you just let finish it? Just finish it. Just finish. This is the urgency. And excessive competitive drive. I have to be up. I have to do it. I have to complete this one before that one happens. Before this happens. Before that one happens. In that sense, this personality is type A, and this is going to give you stress no matter what the change is all about, regardless of change is positive or negative. But this personality, you are you are being in trouble. Type B personality, very good people, people who are relaxed, easy ongoing, and accept change. Simple as that. These are symptoms that is job related. If it is job related, dissatisfaction, tension, anxiety, irritability, boredom, this happens psychologically. Physically, you feel metabolism is down, and typically blood pressure, headaches are talked about, but your immune system is being damaged. If I give you example of innovation, so bringing in new idea, making them practical, things just brilliant. As you can see in this picture, everybody is sad, and is that they're maybe talking about we are in the hot water, cold water, the rain water, whatever water, but they are not using their mind, right? They are not being creative. So this guy, he's happy, and he used, basically it is hard to board on a umbrella, inverted umbrella, but since we are concerned the concept, so let it be. So he's surfing on the umbrella and just making its way out of the situation. So this is creativity, the ability to combine ideas in a unique way to make the unusual things to happen. The innovation turning the outcomes of creative process into useful products, services, or work methods. Sometimes you have a given limited resources, but you are doing it very perfect with even limited resources. Sometimes people don't have anything, but they are happy. Sometimes you might have observed globally that people are, have everything in their life, but they are still stressed up. They are fed up from the life. They want to just, do negative whatsoever, but they're not happy. However, they have everything in their life. So it is the way sometimes you see things, but innovative people make are totally opposite to that one. They make things happen in a positive way, create whatever they have. These might be taken as creative people. These are the idea champions, individuals who actively and enthusiastically support new ideas, build support for them, overcome resistance that we were talking about, and ensure that innovations are being implemented. Because once you plan for something, you have to implement the plan very positively. These are the most innovative companies. The list goes on with all these steps. Innovative variable, it might have the innovation variables. What could be the factors that bring in the innovation, or in which the innovations can be observed. One is a structural variable, organic structure, abundant resources, high internet communication, minimal time pressure, work and non-work support. These are the structural variables. I'll just give you an overview. For example, uh, if you are not happy with working in a very strict, ruled, and under a rude supervisor, you might stressed up, and your innovation just will simply die or fade off with the time. But opposite to that, organization is supporting you, management is supporting you, the your supervisor is very good, and you have all the resources that you need. Then you will be calm down and you will just head for the innovation. Similarly, cultural variables are those the acceptance of ambiguity, right? Focus computer, who's that? He's joining us. I don't know why. Okay, acceptance of ambiguity, tolerance of the impractical, low external controls, right? You are not being enforced out from outside. You don't worry about the outside. The culture is so smooth, so support. Everybody's okay, and the way of communication, the way of behavior of your employees and colleagues is just fine, just perfect. So you don't have to worry about it. So that might ignites the innovation. And open system focus, you are being, your decision is being taken, your point is being considered, and positive feedback on your work and on your effort is being given to you. That culture might lead to innovation. And the other thing is that high commitment of the employees, training and development from the organization continuously, and high job security. You are not concerned about the job, just do a good work. For example, Google Corporation, they don't fire employees like this, and they just want them to bring new ideas that will make Google go global, and make it easy, convenient for the people in the whole globe, so that consumers can adopt to Google as much as they can. That's it. They want new ideas. Don't worry about the job. Don't worry about the family. Don't worry about the insurances, bills, health bills, the home grocery. Even the Google gives all those facilities. If you want to bring your family in, just bring it in. So in the organization or the office you are working, and if you want to innovate your work office, go ahead. We don't have a problem with that. Just be creative. This is definitely going to be make people more creative, right? This is human resource variable. And the last few things are, these are the structural variables. Here we have in a diagrammatical way, here we have in the structural way, in the written format. Now you might be thinking, what is creativity and what innovation is? I have just given you a pictorial image, so that you can just make it very clearly see what innovation and creativity is. However, I have just explained a similar thing over here. Creativity is ability, unique ideas, and making it possible is innovation, right? In trying new methods. So this is a diagrammatical way. I hope that this will make easy for you to understand regarding innovation and creativity. So now with this, our chapter ends. So anybody has any question